Everyone is talking about Apple's A18 and A19. But what if I told you most of it is completely fake? Leaks are everywhere, crazy performance claims, insane upgrades. But there's a huge problem no one is noticing. Apple hasn't confirmed anything. Most of these leaks are just predictions, recycled rumors, or straight-up guesses. Right now, the real focus should be the Apple A17 Pro chip, the only chip we actually know. And even its future upgrades are still unclear. So A18 and A19, not confirmed, not verified, and definitely not what people think. If you want the real truth about Apple's next chip, watch the full video till end. So let's start from the beginning. Every single year, before Apple launches a new chip, the same cycle repeats. Leaks start appearing online. Some say the next chip will be twice as fast. Others claim insane battery improvements. And then there are those insider reports that spread like wildfire across social media. And this year, it's even worse. We're seeing A18 leaks, A19 leaks, and the craziest part, people are already comparing them, ranking them, even though Apple hasn't officially said a single word. Let that sink in. No official confirmation, no real specs, no verified benchmarks, and yet, everyone is acting like it's real. So where are these leaks actually coming from? Here's the truth most people don't talk about. A lot of these leaks are based on predictions, educated guesses, sometimes supply chain hints, but many times, they're just content created to get clicks. Because think about it, if someone posts A19 will be 50% faster than A17, it sounds exciting, right? It gets attention, it spreads fast, but that doesn't make it true. And this is where things start getting dangerous for viewers. Because after seeing the same rumor again and again, people start believing it. It becomes fact in their minds, even though it never was. Now let's talk about what we actually know. The only real, confirmed chip we have right now is the Apple A17 Pro chip. This chip is already insanely powerful. It introduced major improvements in performance, efficiency, and even gaming capabilities. It's a real product, tested, reviewed, and proven. But here's where it gets interesting. Even with the A17 Pro, we still don't fully know how far Apple can push this architecture. We don't know exactly what the next jump will look like, and that's why all these A18 and A19 claims should be taken very carefully. Because Apple doesn't upgrade chips randomly. There's a strategy behind it. Sometimes they focus on performance, sometimes efficiency, sometimes AI, and sometimes the upgrade is smaller than people expect. But leaks don't show that reality. Leaks show extremes, either huge upgrade or massive disappointment. There's no balance, and that's the biggest red flag. Now let's break down why many A18 and A19 leaks don't make sense. First, the timeline. Apple follows a very structured release cycle. New chips are tied to new iPhones. That means any real leak close to launch would be more specific, more consistent, and backed by multiple reliable sources. But what are we seeing right now? Random numbers, random claims, no consistency. One leak says 30% faster, another says 50%, another says completely new architecture. That's not how real information looks. Real leaks usually align with each other. Fake ones, they contradict each other. Second, the performance claims. If you look at Apple's history, they don't suddenly jump 50% or 60% every single year. Improvements happen, but they're controlled, optimized, and realistic. So when you see extreme numbers being thrown around, that's your signal to question it. Third, the source problem. A lot of these leaks don't come from verified analysts or trusted insiders. They come from reposts, screenshots, random accounts, or websites that don't have a strong track record. And once one post goes viral, everyone copies it. That's how misinformation spreads. Now I'm not saying all leaks are fake. There are real leaks out there. But the problem is, most people can't tell the difference. And that's exactly why videos like this matter. Because instead of blindly trusting every rumor, you start thinking critically. You start asking, does this actually make sense? Now let's talk about something even more important. Why does this matter to you? Because these leaks influence your decisions. You might delay buying a phone. waiting for a better chip that may not even be what you expect. You might think your current device is outdated just because of rumors, and that's exactly what creates unnecessary hype and unnecessary pressure. But when you understand the reality, you realize something powerful. The best device for you is not based on leaks. It's based on what actually exists. And right now, what exists is the A17 Pro, a real, powerful, capable chip that already handles almost everything you throw at it. So instead of chasing unknown future upgrades, focus on what's real. Now let's flip the perspective. What if some of these leaks are partially true? Even then, they're incomplete, because a chip is not just about raw power. It's about optimization, software integration, thermal management, real-world performance, and none of that can be judged from a random leak. Only real testing shows that. And that's something people forget. Now here's the biggest takeaway from this entire discussion. Leaks are entertainment. Reality is experience. You can watch leaks. You can enjoy the speculation. But don't let it control your decisions. Because at the end of the day, Apple will reveal the truth when they are ready, not when the internet guesses. And when that happens, we'll finally see what's real and what was just noise. So the next time you see a crazy headline about A18 or A19, pause for a second. Think about the source. Think about the logic. And most importantly, don't believe everything you see. Because in tech, hype spreads fast, but truth takes time. And here's the part no one is ready to hear. Even if tomorrow someone leaks the real A18 or even A19, it still won't matter as much as you think. Because numbers don't tell the full story. You can have a chip that's 20% faster, 30% more efficient, but in real life, you might not even feel the difference. Yeah, that's the reality most tech videos don't talk about. We've reached a point where smartphones are already so powerful that each new upgrade feels smaller, even if the numbers look big. And that's exactly why leaks feel more exciting than reality. Because leaks promise a revolution, but real products usually deliver evolution. Small improvements, smarter optimization, better efficiency, not magic. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually how good technology works. But here's where it gets really interesting. What if Apple isn't even focusing on raw power anymore? What if the next big upgrade isn't A18 or A19, but something completely different? Performance, battery intelligence, real-time processing, things that don't show up in simple benchmark leaks. And if that's true, then all these current leaks, they're not just wrong, they're looking in the wrong direction. And that completely changes the game. Because now it's not about which chip is faster. And that's a much bigger shift than people realize. So while the internet keeps arguing about A18 versus A19, Apple might be quietly working on something way more important. Something that doesn't need hype, because it speaks for itself. And when that finally drops, that's when you'll see who was right, and who was just following the noise. So don't get distracted by every new leak you see. Stay smart, stay curious, and remember, the real upgrade is not always the one everyone is talking about. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think A18 and A19 leaks are real, or just hype? Let me know in the comments. And if you want the real breakdown the moment Apple announces anything, make sure you subscribe, because we don't follow hype here. We follow facts, and I'll see you in the next one.